Here are the answers for the day 4 warm-up. Question A, give the symbol for any monatomic ion and then say whether it's a cation or an anion. So everybody's answers could vary here. I'll give just a couple examples on my answer key. So a monatomic ion is an ion that is made from one atom only. It could be the fluoride ion, F negative. Because that has a negative charge, that is an anion. Another example of a monatomic ion is the sulfide ion, S with a -2 charge. That is a negative charge. It's an anion. Another example of a monatomic ion is the sodium ion, Na+1. That has a positive charge, so it is a cation. You only had to give one example in your answer. I gave 3 examples. Question B, give the symbol for any polyatomic ion and say whether it's a cation or an anion. So a polyatomic ion is made from more than one atom bonded together. These are the things that are on that chart on page 268. One possible example is sulfate, SO4 with a -2 charge. That's a negative ion, so it's an anion. Another example is NO3 with a -1 charge. That's nitrate. That's an anion. There is one cation on the page 268 chart. That's NH4 with a +1 charge. That's ammonium. That's a cation because it has a positive charge. So again, we only needed one example. Here's 3 examples. Question C. Select any of the transition metal ions from page 266. Write the symbols for both of its possible ions. So there are several on page 266 to choose from. I'll do a couple examples. There is copper 1 and copper 2. The symbol for the copper 1 ion is Cu with a +1 charge in the corner. The symbol for the copper 2 ion is Cu with a +2 charge in the corner. Notice how the Roman numeral is indicating what positive charge there is. Here's one more example. Iron 2 and iron 3. The symbol for the iron 2 ion is Fe with a +2 charge. The symbol for iron 3 is Fe with a +3 charge. Some metal atoms are able to turn into ions with different amounts of positive charge, depending upon how many valence electrons are lost. The metal ions that are capable of this are always going to be located in the transition metal area of the periodic table. And it's not all of the transition metals that do this, but some of them do, and they're listed on page 266. Question D, what charge does an ion from group 1A have? Always +1, because the elements in group 1A have one valence electron that can be lost. If an atom loses one valence electron, it ends up with a +1 charge. What charge does an ion from group 2A have? Always a +2 charge. What charge does an ion from group 7A have? A -1 charge. Elements that are in group 7A have 7 valence electrons, but those atoms would be much more stable if they had a complete octet of 8. So if an atom already has 7 electrons, it easily is able to attract one more electron to make an octet. With the addition of an extra electron, it'll have a -1 charge. Atoms from group 1A, 2A, and 3A lose electrons to create positively charged cations, and atoms in group 5A, 6A, and 7A gain electrons to create negatively charged anions.